Hi, everybody. This is John Thompson. I wanted to welcome you today to an introduction to our course, Succeeding on Your Own. And we're going to get started with explaining some concepts in the course and the course structure. First, we're going to start off with our objectives. What are our goals for this course? We're going to be learning financial literacy, meaning we're going to be looking at checkbooks, student loans and debt, which we're going to talk about, housing options, how that ties into finances, putting an addition on a house, townhouses, condominiums and homes, or renting an apartment. We're also going to have you learn how to cook for yourself and grocery shop. We're going to understand what goes into maintaining a home, whether or not you rent or own. We're also going to have you learn car maintenance and repair, alignments, oil changes, when to change a battery, things like that. We're also going to show you how to behave properly online with digital citizenship and what is expected of you online, and also social media etiquette. And we're also going to show how your behavior online can affect you getting a job and keeping it. So that's something that we'll look at in detail. We're also going to look at how we accomplish our tasks. Again, we talked about maintaining a checkbook with your partner through the term. We're going to have you pay assigned bills with your partner. There are going to be worksheets that are going to be individually assigned and completed. You and your partner are going to work on activities in these sections. You're going to also participate in class discussions. You'll be taking tests at the end of each lesson, and a final exam will be covering all of the materials in the lessons. Why is this project important? Well, we want you to be as self-sufficient as possible. It's a tough world, and more is going to be asked of us as possibly less resources may become available. Events going on in the world may make us have to be self-sufficient, looking to reuse items we have or repurpose them. Our parents are not going to be able to take care of us forever. So that's something that is another thing that's important to understand. Also understand what is going on inside your mind. Does affect the environment. Your wants, needs, and desires internally do affect your behavior externally. We need to also look at how we value our things in times of plenty. The attitude of basically feeling, oh, I can always get another, or looking at how we value things in times of need. Gee, it would be nice to have this. I don't know if I can afford this. We need to take care of it. And that's the other thing, taking care of our items and getting the maximum use out of them. Learning to help those in need, that's going to be very important too in this lesson, because it's a two-way street. If you help others, people help you. And that ties into becoming a better digital and real-life citizen in the world. And lastly, we're going to be having as an importance learning what is expected of you in the workplace. Behaviors in work have shifted and changed over 100 years. They're ever changing again. And so what you do in high school and how you behave in high school is not really going to be tolerated in the workplace. You're going to be held to a higher standard and level of accountability. Instead of getting an A, you're going to be getting a paycheck. And how well you do your job determines how much money you're going to make. How else is this knowledge going to be used? Well, we're going to look at this project as a way to generate interest in careers and trades. Not everybody is going to be meant to work in an office, sadly. However, this does not mean that trades are beneath people. In some instances, trades, you can actually make a decent living and not have that student debt. And that's one of the things too that is also important about this course, is understanding the mistakes leading to major debt with credit cards and student loans and buying more than we can afford. Learning again how to help someone in an emergency. That's something very important. We're not just talking about just an emergency like, a flat tire. We're talking about something maybe like first aid, uh, and helping to save a human life. That's an important thing to do. To value in this course is to value human life. Understanding a social issue in this course. There is one that came up while doing this course, and it's food waste. And that's something that you need to look into as future citizens of the world beyond my generation. You're going to need to understand our mistakes and learn from them rather than repeat the behavior. And of course, tying into thinking before we act, the internal self versus the external self. Uh, Understand what a want and need are. We want stuff, we all want a better standard of living, and we want the fancy clothes, we want the car, but we need a car that works, runs reliably, a roof over our head, and clothes. Also, another thing to know is what is expected at a job from each of you. And that is important for you guys to know now before you go into the workforce and find out the hard way as to what's appropriate and not appropriate.